All right, go guys. What's going on? Sorry for the delay. Um, I'm trying to get everything fixed and working. Let me try something here. Lord, have mercy. Oh man. Let's see if that works. Can you all hear me? Let's see. Now settings. Audio. Sorry I'm late. I was trying to fix everything. Yeah, you can hear me. We're good. Good to go. Awesome. All right, thank y'all for joining. Let me see who's in here. Sky watching him. Okay, let's see here. Millie RN, Danielle Illuminati, Sweet D, Lisa, Sarah Silva, Flicking Bollocks, Cindy C, Hattie's Hunches and Inklings, Killer Looks. What's up, bro? McBro, how are you? The Real Rockin' Robin, how are you doing? What's up? David Cohen. I am whosoever. Randy W. Yes, they do. Yes, Randy W. That's the truth. A one-way street. How are you? Let me see. NC Rocks, Rain Gal, Rain Girl, Yo Bubs, Rebecca Casella. How are y'all all doing? I'm glad you're here. Um, so I apologize. I'm running a little bit late this evening. I want to switch cameras, actually. Let me see if this fix anything. That's what we're going to try to work with. My gosh. And it is what it is. That's all. I mean, that's all there is to it. I'm going to try to fix this up a little bit. I don't know, man. That's just how it's going to have to be for right now. Give me just a second. Anyway, so what we're going to talk about, I'll tell you this. So what we're going to talk about is the blue van, what we know about the blue van, and the rumors that we've seen from, about the blue van. The blue van I'm referring to is the one that Grandma saw on June 15th when they were pulling in, just hours before Summer goes missing. Allegedly, the time that is stated that Summer went missing. Then we're going to go over the prints stuff because I saw on another channel somebody said that the prints were not anywhere near the campsite and all that. Yes, they are. They're all very close together. And I'm going to show you that. I saw this other channel say that they also said that every time a map is pulled up that the prints are in a different location. That's also very inaccurate. My map has stayed the same since we've started this. Well, no, let me rephrase that. When we very first talked about the prints, we said the approximate location as to not hurt the investigation or anybody's properties, not to dox people. But as time went on, I felt like it was important that we shared some of the locations. Let me get my phone here. All right. So I don't know. Nobody's going to derail tonight because I'm not going to allow it. We're not playing them games tonight. We haven't been playing those games over here. So, uh-oh. Might have fixed it just a little bit there. Let me fix this real quick and then we'll be ready. Virtual background. Okay. Ooh, no. I have a light here that I can turn on. Let's see if I can get that going real quick. Guys, I'm on my laptop now because all right, there should be a little better there. That's a little better. Awesome. Okay, sorry guys. I'm still waiting to get my my desktop fixed as it bricked on me. Don't ask me how because I don't know. But it's been one thing after another for sure. One thing after another. Anyway. All right, moving on. Perfect. Now we're cooking with gas. Okay, guys. All right, so okay, so we're getting comments on these videos right now. Someone says, I don't believe anything anybody has to say anymore because the shit is far-fetched or something. With somebody said that nobody's going to solve this case. Well, that's not very optimistic for a missing child. We'll keep on trying. You know, we got to keep on trying. So, you know, it is what it is. People can have a negative attitude. We're not going to have one. We're going to be positive. We're going to think positive. We're going to try to get uh, as close to the truth as possible. We're going to look at maps and all that. Let me show you what I've found so far. So let me pull up this video file. So do you guys remember? Oh. Do you guys remember me talking about this? Elena, too. Because while I was talking to Don Wells, I was able to stop a lot of rumors that would help. Even though Marlena is highly suspect, she does not own a blue van. Never has owned a blue van. That's good to know, right? I asked about what Fred Hill allegedly said to Ziggy about the pit or the shallow grave. And Don's exact words was, this is his exact words. Now, you know, I'm not going to say, he just said that Fred is sitting back laughing at everybody right now.
Yeah.
So there's that. I just wanted to make that very clear. Now, her dad allegedly owns a blue van. We're going to get to this. We found out a lot of information. Now, I shared an email that I had received last year from somebody talking about Jody Sue saying she had a relative on the Wells property or on her property on 125 Ben Hill. They said his name was Fred. Well, we know that Andy Bernard has an uncle, Polly Bernard's brother. If you don't know who Andy Bernard is, you got to catch up. It's Jody Sue's ex. Named John Henry Smith. He drives a blue van and he goes by the name Elvis. We've heard Elvis being talked about by Jody Sue many times. He drives a blue van or owns a van. He owns three. He owns three vehicles. Guess what he owns? A 1995 Toyota Tacoma, a blue van, and hold on, let me just show you real quick on my phone. Okay, hold on. Okay. Lots of assets. Here, let's see here. That's not the one. Mm, let me show you real quick. I gotta research it, guys, and then I'll pull it up here. Okay. So, guess where he lives at though? 200 Ben Hill Road. All right. So, let's see here. John, nope, nope, nope. All right. So it's gonna create a report real quick. This is his name, John Henry Smith. Okay. Address history. What just happened? Okay. 200 Ben Hill Road, August 1st to July 1st, 2022. Now, let me show you this. Assets. This is not the actual truck, but this is what it says. He owns a Toyota Tacoma. You saw what that looks like. That looks could be the same year model. Ah, it says 1995 Toyota Tacoma. He also these are not the actual pictures and colors, but he owns also a Dodge Caravan and a GMC Savannah. Okay? So this is very interesting. Andy B's uncle, yes. His name's John Henry Smith, and he goes by Elvis. We do, Robin Bunadona, we do pray for him. We pray for all of them as well. Thank you guys if you're just coming in. Thank you for being a member. I appreciate it so much. So the footprint was found by Fred, John, and at John's and David's houses. No, that's not true. No, that's not accurate. Curiosity. The footprints were found on Josh Phillips' property by scent dogs who alerted on summer scent after search and rescue had been there all over the property. Does AB uncle have tats like Jody Sue Brown was talking about? Not to my knowledge. Um, Let me see if there's anything else important here. So we're going to look into him. Well, it was said early on that somebody that lived on Ben Hill Road that had a red Tacoma was cleared because he was out of town. Uh, I don't know how accurate that is, but that's what, you know, That's what was stated early on. Now, um, so those pictures were not the exact pictures. I'm going to look up the VIN numbers and we'll see what colors they are. Now, John's daughter, uh, who is she is a I think she's a biracial female. She drives the blue van that that John Henry Smith um, owns. But he was driving it on the 14th looking for Jackie Dobbs to run Jackie Dobbs off. Okay? I don't know. Now, I think it's very weird that they have tried to keep him very hush hush. Jody Sue, um, you know, when I talked about the yellow Nissan Xterra, she flipped out because there was a family member. She flipped out and said that you just doxed a family member. They did not want this guy known about. Now in the email, it said something completely different, but I think they were on the right path. I don't know his daughter's first name. Now when I looked up his um, relatives, it just says his wife. Carol's bells. Oh, it's okay. Thank you. It doesn't matter. You're just catching up. I will try to go over this and keep everybody uh, up to speed with everything we're talking about. Okay, so let me see here. Now, there's these pictures that people were all worried about. Remember, we're going to show these. Let me get slides, Google Slides. Let me pull this up real quick for everybody. Okay. Now, I don't have anything in presentations. Let's see here. Let me see it. So I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to have to put my phone on silent. It keeps going off and it's aggravating me to death. All right. So let's just pull up this way and we'll show it this way. All right. Now let me close this. And let me share my screen here. So all right. So we have this. This is from 4138 Beach Creek Road. You can see in this picture a red Toyota Tacoma, a blue van. But this is 4138 Beach Creek Road. And we will look that up right now. My problem here is here's another picture of it. Here's people sitting in a van here. You can't really see it. It looks like two men. People tried to say that was Candace in it. It's not. And then you have a blue van here with a white door. Now, it said that this belonged to Ricky Crawford, who is Marlena Crawford's father. He is a pastor at the House of Prayer on Light Hollow Road. Correct? All right. But, like I said, Marlena was said to drive a Dodge Neon. Now, that address was 4138 Beach Creek Road, right? Let's look that up. Okay. Let me put this in 4138. All right, here we go. I'm looking it up right now, and we're going to see who this is. This is the same church at the end of Light Hollow Road, and I'll show you where it's at. This is the area where we searched, where JLR went on a search with Brandon out there. That's where this is. All right, possible owners of that address with the blue van. Roy Lee Crawford. All right. Now I'm going to look him up real quick. It's creating a report. That's Roy Lee Crawford. Bernard's address, the John Henry Smith, is 200 Ben Hill Road. That's the guy that was, we believe, was the blue van that Grandma saw on the day that Summer went missing. All right, Roy Lee Crawford, 71, Rogersville, Tennessee. Let's see here. Relatives. Elizabeth A. Crawford, Ann Crawford, 59 years old. 4138 Beach Creek. Scotty Crawford, Donna Marie Crawford, and then recent address is 1200 Old Blair's Gap Road. So they've been in that area for a long time. Then Carl Dykes Road, Big Ridge Road, Mountain View Road. Listen, man, Mountain View Road is the one that goes by. Yeah. So this is the blue van that Candace mentioned on the day that Summer, they were pulling in the day Summer goes missing. Okay. I hope this is made it a little bit clear. Now remember that Andy's uncle, he's 60 something years old. He's the same, around the same age as Polly Bernard. He is actually co-owner of 125 Ben Hill, where Andy and Jody Sue lived at. All right. So let's go back here. Let's look at the assets. His assets. All right. Here's another one. 1986 Toyota pickup truck valued at $10,779. May be registered to a Roy Crawford. 4138 Beach Creek Road. A Plymouth Voyager, which is a van. Could be a blue van. 1984. Chrysler New Yorker. Pontiac Sunfire. Chevy Cavalier. Ford Mustang. And that's all that I can see there, the assets. So, all right, guys. Who is Jake? McBro, what do you mean? Who's Jake? Hey, like the morning. How are you? Yeah, so we've been talking about the blue van, Wisconsin Mama. That's where I was talking about. We're going over who potentially owned it. Andy Bernard's uncle, who lives at 200 Ben Hill Road, is Andy Bernard's uncle. Now let's pull the map up real quick and let's look at it. I think that's going to give us our best clue. Where is my maps? Okay, here we go. Let me get this up and then we will. All right, guys. So let me share here. All right. I can't see the chat, guys, so bear with me. I'm going to try to click over as much as I can, but we're going to show you where the blue van was seen. Let me go to full screen here with this. All right. So you can hear me. Here we go. Yeah, hunted coyotes. We have looked at the car yard. Yeah, and guys, about the Discord that I've started, I haven't had time to work on it, but I got it up and going. If dogs are better, I'm not doxing anybody. We're going over important information that uh these people were named in this investigation. If Elvis, Andy's uncle, was in a blue van, trying to run Jackie Dobbs off on the 14th, and it was seen on the 15th, just hours before Summer went missing, that's a big deal. Sorry, I don't feel like that's doxing. This is all public information. I'm not putting out anything that people uh, haven't already known. So here we go. This is Summer's house right here. Now, I'm going to show you something real quick. This is for the people that the other night on the other channels that said that the prints were not close to each other. This is Josh Phillips' property where the prints were located, okay? This is the area where the other prints were found on Cricket Manis, who is Mary Sexton's daughter's property. All right. So if her prints, there's the first set, second set. Remember the uh remember the campsite that I told you about that I found? Right here. That's Summer's house. And then here's a scent where the dogs alerted on Summer's scent. The dogs alerted on her scent right there. All right. This is the Gorley property. This is this property is owned by Billy. Oh gosh, I can't think of his last name. Guys, help me here. Not Billy Arnold. Billy. Killer Looks. I'm gonna see if we can find that unfinished cabin right now. That's where we're going. They are not that far away from each other, and I'll tell you why. Look. All right. So let me clear measurements again. All right. If this one measure distance from here to here, that is 479.48 meters or 1,573 feet. That's not too far, guys. This is the power line cutout from the Wells house. It looks far away from maps, but this is not far. This is the power line cutout right here. All right, from there to that campsite, in all, this is 2,997 feet or 913 meters. And then from the house It's 1.20 kilometers. But look, I'm going to go from the house to here. So that's the area that we're looking at. This is not very far. All right, so let me go on down through here. So we got campsite, set of prints on Cricket Manus's property, Josh Phillips' property, Summer's house. Then the Gorley's property, we have an alleged uh, scent. You know, a scent dog's alerted on her scent right here. This is trying to refresh everybody. All right, so we're going to go down here, and I'm going to show you. Okay, that's the end of show me the property here. Come on, guys. Let's try and see if that's Fred's. That's not. Let's see. Here, we'll just look it up real quick. All right. So this is 200 Ben Hill Road right here. So we're going to add, let's put this right here. Let's see here. Copy the clipboard. Add label. We're going to put Andy's uncle, Elvis, aka John H. Smith. Parentheses, blue van. Okay. All right, there's that. Okay, let's do this. It says, please choose a shorter name. All right, let's do this. Dude, what is going on here? All right. We're just going to do blue van Elvis. Here we go. All right. So let me go. That's right across the road. Now, if y'all see right here, this is right across the road. I had no idea this is where 200 Ben Hill Road was. But now we can't go to Street View here. So here's the 200. This is right across the road from where we entered into the Gorley's property here. And this is where I found the campsite at the very top of this ridge. Now let me see if I can find the pictures of the campsite, and I think that will give you a better view here. I'm going to find it. Now, I can't see. Remember, I cannot see the chat right now. So bear with me, and we'll get to it, okay? I'm doing the best I can here. Let's see here. Like how the road search. Let me find. I know that it's right here somewhere, guys. Okay. All right. So I found this. Let me go over here. I'm going to go back to me. All right. Let me pull this up for you guys. Stop screen present. Now, this is the campsite I found. Just if anybody hasn't seen it or is not familiar with it. All right. So you can see where I taped off up here. The orange ribbons on the tree is where I taped off for law enforcement there. But you see that here's this rim, this tire rim. There were 2 chairs up here, and then this back here was built up. You see this here, this right here? Can you see my mouse? That right there is built up, I'd say about 6 feet high. And right on the other side of this, now this is at a higher elevation than Summer's house. You can see right to her swing from it. I could hear the dogs barking like they were right on top of me. And that's all that was up there. So, you know, take it for what you will. Yeah, that's the campsite I'm talking about, hunted coyotes. That's exactly right. Yeah, so Josh Phillips is the property owner who talked about the prints. And he talks about how law enforcement came and asked. Look, I actually found all those. Let's go over those real quick before we go. Hey, Tragedy Pimps, thank you so much. Let's look at this real quick. Let me find all those. Screenshots. I found some good ones, guys, that we haven't ever seen. Now, in that same interview, we hear Candace talk about, and don't worry, Killer Looks, I'm going to go over where the cabin, I think the cabin might be. But now, y'all remember her talking about Tony Hammonds? This is Tony Hammonds. This is the one that said to have been seen on Ben Hill Road that day. He is also the one who attempted to take a 12-year-old boy just days after Summer went missing. If you don't know who he is, that's him right there. All right. Now, let me pull up these screenshots. All right. Now, these are the ones that were from the Facebook group. We just moved there about 7 months ago and live one house down from them, speaking about the Wells. Been on our land pretty much every day and have been keeping us updated on what they are seeing. Sorry. Search crews and deputies have been on our land pretty much every day and have been keeping us updated on what they are seeing in our neighborhood. As far as evidence, there is physical evidence that she was in the woods by my house and in my neighbor's yard after she went missing. Same one. They found her footprints in a couple different yards. I was standing 100 feet from the dogs when they identified her scent on a barefoot footprint. Deputy came over and asked what size shoes my kids wear, and told me what they had found and that it was a fresh print and her scent. Nothing she could have fallen into. But I've been letting the search crews do their job and not disturbing where they are looking. Search crews back out today with dogs. Spoke with them briefly while they were walking by. No updates, but they're doing everything they can to find her. All right. I don't want to pry and understand if you can't answer this, but is there a police presence in the area still at all? He says, I haven't seen any since they shut down the command center. They searched our whole area really well, though. They were on my land several times with large search crews. Helicopter with FLIR flew over my land for about 2 days straight. FBI was stopping every car that came near Ben Hill Road and searching them and taking account of who was in the car. There really isn't much more they can do in the immediate area. And somebody says back, thank you. Are any locals still out searching those woods? He says, you're welcome. Most of my neighbors are tending to livestock, baling hay, and checking fence lines daily. If there was any sign of her, they would see it during their daily work, he says. All right, so that's a red Toyota. Oh, man. This was up at the church at Solomon's Temple. Hold on a second. Oh, man. Here you go. Deputies just knocked on our door. You see, this is June 18th. Deputies just knocked on our door and asked my wife for any tips on navigating our land and if we cared if they searched there. Looks like they are expanding the search area and that they still do not know her whereabouts. Now that's the other store. This is that picture from Jackie Dobbs. He posted this. Now it's been said that it was in England where this when they screenshotted this. Hold on a second. Hello? Sorry, guys. That was DoorDash with our milkshakes. Allison, you want to say hi?
Hi. Sorry, guys. I swear I'm going to be back soon. I swear. We've just been having a lot going on, as I'm sure y'all
know. Yeah.
So,
people start problems, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So, I love you guys, and I'll be back soon, hopefully.
Yeah, Joe Popowick, I believe that too. JSB threw searchers off on purpose. I believe it too. You Americans and your DoorDash. Yeah, look, I posted this because this is, I've had my own questions about Mr. Phillips now. And I hope that, if this is some kind of trafficking thing or something like that, and there's a lot of people involved, there's a lot of truckers. We know there's a lot of pedos involved with child P out there. It's bad. Half of you two is better than 90. Thank you. Reddy W says, I don't understand these footprints were the only ones found. No other large prints were with the. Now we're going to look at why that is. When the dogs alerted on her scent, search crews have been all over that area and trampled over that area. I have actually a screenshot of them talking about that. Anyway, this is something Jackie Dobbs posted, but it said, I don't know how accurate this is, but if it was taken in, if it was, shared from England, or a screenshot was taken in England, they would be a day ahead of us, is what I have come to understand. People have told us. Let me see. All right, here's one that he posted. Last time I checked, I'm pretty sure I know where I live. I was in my yard when the search crew was on my property. I heard the dogs bark to identify a scent. A few minutes later, 2 deputies pulled in my driveway on a gator, told me they had found a child's barefoot footprint, and the dogs identified Summer's scent on it. They asked what size shoe my kids wore and if my kids had been in the woods barefoot in the last couple of days. After that, they found another footprint farther up the ridge in my other neighbor's woods. So at some point, she walked from her house through my yard into my neighbor's yard and into the woods behind their house. They brought out a massive search crew and searched all of my vehicles, buildings, and my entire property, and flew helicopters over us for several hours straight. Never found anything else we know of. Okay. This is a video of the plane. I don't know if it's going to show it. What that has to do with anything, if they're using that. But he is circling for sure. That again's the plane from November 30th. All right. This right here is where Dobbs parked. All right. So right here, guys, this is where the blue van was seen by Grandma. Parked right here. Milkshakes on me. Thank you, Jess. You're awesome. Thank you. That's nice of you. Thank you so much. Okay, so Vet Girl said, where is the Facebook author? The Facebook author, he got treated so badly for posting this stuff that his whole family and everything were attacked because he was talking that in a early on, if it wasn't pointed directly at the Whales of doing something, then people got bashed for saying any other opinion or theory. So he stopped talking immediately. All right, now this video right here this is where Grandma would have seen the blue van parked at. Peachy, what am I supposed to be talking about? What now? Yeah, Imagine Peace. I will show Fred Hill's property and Fields Road. I actually have a whole video of us on Fields Road driving it and filming it. Y'all, and we'll play that too so you can see that. I have a whole live stream. Came and go as they wish, but once outside, they're there. Let's see. Yeah, okay, this is true. All right, but let me finish playing this right quick so I could show you this. To go over here. That's 125 Ben Hill. And he was cutting trees. Little trees. He was well enough to carry a chainsaw up into this brush. For people that say he can't carry weight, he was able to get a chainsaw up in there. I'm speaking about Jackie Dobbs in this, but this is also where he parked and where the blue van was. This isn't his property. His property is farther on over, and we'll look at that. All right. this. All right, so this was in on WJHL. Nothing pointing to an abduction. Nothing pointing to foul play other than her walking outside the house and not being found is basically the main thing right now, said Sheriff Lawson. What actually happened to her, we're still trying to find out. I just wanted to note that right there. Nothing pointing to foul play. Why would he say that? The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation declined News Channel 11's request for an interview. A spokesperson referred us to previously recorded interviews on their website. All right, I think that's important, though. I wanted to show that.
Yep, that makes sense.
So this was a video right here of Gonzo, Real Gun Gonzo, when he went to the Wells property. As you can see, he's in the red Subaru. There's a picture there of the boys and Summer on the dash, but that
makes sense.
That's down at the lower part of the property where the shed is, looking up the power line cut out. Okay. Let me see what I missed here. Just want to make sure I'm getting everything. No. No. That's Richard Honaker.
Tell me that. You didn't warn me of the spot.
It's open on the other side.
Again, we have full permission.
We have full permission to be here. We're not.
This is the lower part of the property. Up right there is where you could see it, where they cut going up to the Wells property. This is where they cut out, and then over here is where they also cut going up to Mary Sexton.
Doing anything that they do not know about.
I know my thing was here. It's okay. Watch out for snakes.
Yeah. And tell me that. You didn't warn me of the spider web earlier.
An old set or an old burned wood. This is the inside of the shed.
Inside.
All right, guys, that's what we got.
It's open on the other side.
Okay, hold on. All right, guys, I'm coming down from the house. Down here. All right, sorry, guys. Y'all
I want to make it
home.
known that once the driveway hits right there, you can't see nothing.
All right. That's Sherfy Sr., Don Sherfy Sr., and his son, Donald Sherfy Jr. He stays up there at Barry Sexton's property, okay? And this is his son that got in trouble with over 1,000 images of child pee, as you see right here. This is him on May 20th, 2021, arrested by Sullivan County, Tennessee Sheriff's Department. And the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office recently received tips from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. So this should tell us something, that this National Center for Missing and Exploited Children was looking into him regarding child pornography being uploaded to the internet from a residence in Sullivan County. Detectives began an investigation into the tips and determined that the IP address of the suspect came back to a residence in Blountville. Investigators were provided with the username of the Snapchat and Instagram accounts that the suspect was using to transmit the pornography. The suspect's date of birth that was used on the accounts was also provided. A search warrant was obtained for the residence 2408 Muddy Creek Road, Blountville, and was executed this morning. Investigators spoke to a resident, Donald Wayne Sherfy Jr., and he admitted to possessing and distributing the pornography. Donald Wayne Sherfy Jr., age 28, of 2408 Muddy Creek Road, Blountville, was taken into custody. And this just shows you how close to Summers' property was where Sherfy Jr.'s father and father's girlfriend, Christy Mock, lived. 2 minutes away, okay? Now, this is where he lived in Sullivan County, where Sherfy Jr. lived. 2408 Muddy Creek Road. This is 543 Muddy Creek Road, where Evelyn Boswell was found deceased. 9 minutes away. I think it's very funny that there is a Sherfy very close to both of the biggest cases in Northeast Tennessee of missing or a homicide involving a child. This is upsetting to me because Sherfy Jr. and Megan Boswell also had a court hearing and arraignment date at the same date and time. Strange to me. This is the campsite again. Okay, now this is another post by Josh Phillips, the property owner that was talking on Facebook about the footprints. Was informed by deputies to make sure when I post anything to make sure I explain it in full detail. So there was no way anyone could misinterpret it. Someone got confused over me calling a footprint physical evidence and blew their phone lines up, thinking it was new evidence. So I'm being very precise here. 2 footprints, child size, barefoot, not my kid's prints. One on my land, one on a neighbor's that doesn't want their name or location mentioned. See, that's strange too. You know, if you didn't have anything to hide, I don't know. I do not want my location shown either. Search dogs barked on my land. Deputy asked me questions about my kid's shoe sizes. I asked if the dog's barking meant it was her scent. He said yes. Said it had to be a recent print, left after she disappeared. Informed him my kids are never barefoot in the woods. Prints were about 3/4 of a mile or so apart. The print in my yard was behind a ridge, so not where we would have seen anyone. Next print was farther up on a ridge, near another neighbor's house. Not sure which print was left first, so no clue which direction she was going. Let me go over here and look. Muddy Creek is in Blountville, a little bit farther from let me see what's going on here. What's up, Ray Bird? So they found Evelyn Boswell on Megan Boswell's father's land in a trash can, wrapped up. It's terrible. Yeah, you're talking about Wild Bill Arnold, Fizzle. Yeah, that's exactly right. Okay, so let's see. So LA Connection said, did the Simpson guy who kidnapped other girl have, what did he have? Now, okay. You're talking about Gary Simpson who allegedly took Carly Trent against her will. He lived with her, and that was his niece. Lots of lots of strange stuff to do with that case too. And The Simpsons and Carly Trent, have direct links to, uh, the sheriff Lawson and his wife's family. Cam, with those footprints on a trail? No, they were just in a ridge in an area that was kind of off the beaten path. So Evelyn Boswell was another case of that is in this area, that was really big around here, that got us, me and Allie, really in watching true crime. And it was a big search. They said that Evelyn was kidnapped. She wasn't. It's been alleged that her mother had a new boyfriend and didn't want to have motherly responsibilities, and they took her life and first hid her under her trailer, allegedly, and then put her in a playhouse on her father's property. Billy Dishner, yeah. Billy Dishner is the property where the campsite was found. All right, so let me go to the next thing. All right. I heard search dogs were all over the place. Neighbor said her scent was found in his yard and woods next to him. That was from the neighbor's mouth. And he answers that comment. Yes, a barefoot child's footprints that the dogs identified. Her scent in my woods and in neighbor's woods. No other scent or footprints were found. Just my opinion, with nothing else to base it on, but that sounds like she was being carried and was set down to make it through a rough area. You would expect more prints if she was walking. Search crews had been all over my land for several days before the footprint was found. So there were already plenty of adult footprints there. This is the one I wanted y'all to see. This is a big deal right here. This is the one. Why people always ask, why was there no adult prints? Well, he had an explanation for that, and I, take it for what you will. I don't know what to say about it, except things that make you go, right? Let's see. Summers, let's share this right here. Just to show that, man, for a minute. It's so sad because sometimes I think we forget who we're talking about and what we're looking for. And it's this little girl right here, Summer Moon Utah Wells. She's 7 years old the other day. Just turned 7 years. It's been almost 2 years, guys. All right, this is a picture of when the TBI and they were out there searching. This is at Mount Carmel Church where the staging area was. Tegan Dougherty. This is the young man that we helped locate outside of Knoxville. This video here was taken by Candace when there were reports that a human remains were found in a pond, and they said that there was a police presence all over the Wells Hill, and she was showing that there was absolutely nobody up there. That's what this video is of. Okay, that's us on Ben Hill Road with News Channel 11, Ansley Daniels. Oh, here you go. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I'm gonna do this too.
Thank you.
I had to give Sissy a drink of that.
Let me throw that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, babe.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where Trace Labs were looking on the dark web for Summer Wells. Oh no. No. All right. So I'm glad that we're going over this because I think it helps a lot to show, stuff from the very beginning, because that's what's important. They said they don't know what direction they were heading. I showed you earlier in this the direction of or the where the prints were located in accordance with the Wells home. You're welcome, Stacy Price. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you. And yeah, if you guys don't care, man, please hit that like button. I'd greatly appreciate it. I'm going to go here for about 20 more minutes because this is important information I want people to see, and they ain't got a lot of time to watch. So an hour and a little over is, I think, perfect to have people be able to get the information. Okay. All right. So now, let me see here. Now this is from Jared from Adventures with Purpose. This is just emails that we got early on. Now they were going to try to search for Summer and come in and look for her as early as July. No, June.
This was before all of the allegations against Jared came out.
Yeah, this is before all the allegations against
Get
Jared.
that out of the way, and we're not talking about that.
Yeah, that's not what we're talking about. He says, thank you for reaching out, Nicole. We certainly appreciate your support. While we wish AWP could help all those in need of answers when a loved one is missing, Jared has inside information from law enforcement that Summer is not in the water. This, unfortunately, is not something AWP would be able to assist with. So we saw that, and we had somebody reach out to verify if he really said this. So Seeds of Hope on Friday, November 5th, 2021 at 9:02 a.m. reached out. No worries at all. We like dealing with truth. I'm surprised that they would just say that like that. However, it certainly makes a person wonder how they can be so sure that she's not in the water, essentially is what she's saying, when she has not been found. He says, you're welcome. Wish I had better news for you at this time. Thanks, Jared. And she says this, well, I forgot to attach it apparently, but that does answer our questions. Thank you for replying. He says, I don't see anything attached, but as for working the Summer Wells case, we have information close to the case that Summer is not in the water and that a water search is not the best use of resources at this time. Crazy. And this is just her initial email to him. This is something they were building for Summer up on the Wells property. This was a rock garden. That's the billboard that we got up for Summer on Fort Henry Drive. This is the cat that was claimed that Don Wells hurt, which was not true. He actually was rumored that he killed this cat, and this cat was alive and well. And we took this picture just to show and to dispel another rumor. Those were the two girls that were found unalived in Utah. We got to actually speak with the woman who found them. Um, that was, we worked with Gray Hughes on that case. So this is back in the beginning. This is tonight candlelight vigil for Summer Wells on October 14th at Crockett Springs Park. We went to that one. This is just to show you how thick the woods were, and this was in October or November. This is one of our searches we went on. This was a snake eating a frog that we came across out there. Look at the size of that black snake. This right here, guys, is kind of what we're dealing with. This is a path and a trail that goes up into the mountain, just to give you an idea of what we are working with and working through. There's all of her stuff, man. Poor Summer, man. All right, so this is kind of crazy. This is from June 23rd, 2021 at 3:07 p.m. I think this is important that we read this one. The reward grows to $50,000. Will it help produce any new leads? A man I believe so, Sandy Hurley. I do believe so. Wisdom Junkie, I just went over that. That's what I showed the post from the property owner where the prints were found. He said that search crews were all around that area so much before the prints were even identified by scent dogs that there was plenty of adult footprint tracks there, and it wouldn't be legible, or they couldn't tell if it was one of theirs or somebody that was a suspect or let's see the person who might be responsible of taking Summer, or she just walked away by herself, just like police were saying. Who knows? So anyway, it says, I'm going to read this. This is Nick Barris from NC5. A man in Bon Aqua, Tennessee, has now pledged $25,000 for information that leads to Summer Wells. This comes one day after the Times News reported a Kingsport man offered up $25,000 for the person who provided a tip or information that led to the discovery and or recovery of the 5-year-old. Wells was reported missing from her Hawkins County home in the Beach Creek community last Tuesday at about 6:30 p.m. The Amber Alert remains in effect. As of the morning, still no leads, even as the TBI reports having received more than 250 tips to the 1-800-TBI-FIND hotline. So the reward grows. In my experience, a large reward can bring results. Yes, $50,000 is a lot of money, likely enough to get someone who knows something to talk. Of course, she could possibly collect a reward if they found. Of course, she could possibly collect a reward if they found the little girl and rescued her from the woods. That's weird he said that she could possibly. But a reward can also imply there is foul play and that someone is perhaps keeping quiet for someone else. If that's the case, $50,000 might be too much to turn down, and they'll call the TBI. The search continues, but I do know authorities are turning their focus more and more to the possibility of an abduction and foul play. If that's the case, hopefully the reward money will lead to some solid leads. This is Nick Barris. He's over a news channel and he's a pretty credible guy. I thought this was very, very strange that he said this. The search continues, but I do know authorities are turning their focus more and more to the possibility of abduction and foul play. What do y'all think about that? Dude. I don't know, man. Thank you, Funny Face Brenda. I will. Stacy Precious love Nick. I don't know, man. That's crazy. I'm pretty sure it was Don in the last few weeks that he said he wanted them released and they said they were lost. Oh. 100% abduction and foul play. Is that not crazy? That's crazy that they would say that they are, Nick Barris would have inside information. He knows somebody in that. So, I don't know, man. You don't know. I don't know. This is. How is Nick Barris drama? It's very credible source. I'm sorry, I have to argue that one. Eric Chase, I agree with you. I believe the same thing. Guys, that's all I'm going to cover tonight. Let me pull the maps up again real quick. Let me stop sharing this. Let me see this. Make sure there's nothing else I want to add before we go. Just want to make sure there's nothing important. Okay, let me make sure. No backlash on song Summer Love. This song, she's been missing since June 15th. She could be anywhere. Please share. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to see if there was anything else. Oh, this is important. This is important to me. So let me show this real quick. So this is the view from on Dobbs' property. Okay. Check this out. This is what you can see from Jackie Dobbs' property when the foliage is off the trees. There's the school bus in the Wells property across Ben Hill Road. There you can see it a little better. You can see the outline of the house here. That's that whole hill where the boys would be playing. That would be the dog trail coming down that way. Crazy, huh?
All right, guys.
Okay, so there's that. And Joseph Valley Road is right over the Mountain Ridge, Woodside Beach Creek. This is what I was trying to share the other night. It said on Summer's birthday, the TBI released something that they searched 4.6 square miles. So I'm going to show you what 4.6 square miles is in a radius, because that's what they said, and the cabin. We're going to look at that real quick, and then I'm going to go. All right. Yeah, that was through the trees in winter, not in summer. But I'm just saying, there's a view right across there of their property. Oh, Nature Lover gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. Thank you for doing that, guys. Wow, thank you, guys. All right, now let me clear this and let me show the map. And then we're going to I'm done after that. Okay, so, all right. So right here is Summer's house. We're going to use this as a point of where we'll say that for where the radius of the search happened. Okay. So let's see here. Let me see what 4.6 square miles is. We're going to go this way. So it'd be a radius of about 1 mile in every direction. Okay. So 1.5 kilometers is about a mile, right? So we're just going to say that in every direction. All right. All right. And this is mountainous terrain, guys. So I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. This is the search. This is where the house of prayer was located. That Marlena's dad, Ricky Crawford, this is the house of prayer right here. That's the house of prayer at 868 Light Hollow Road. Okay. That's right there. That's where potential evidence was found on a search that the police didn't go pick up for 3 days, mind you. And now we're going to go here to Ben Hill Road or Beach Creek Road. All right. All right. That's Simpson Road. Let me look here. Let me see where we're at here. Okay. So that's the Wells property. The prints would have been located. I thought this was the area of the driveway, but it's not. Hold on one second. Now they had the drone tent on November 30th. Okay. June 2013, October 2012. Okay. The drone tent was right down here. This is where they had it set up because right here is where the prints were allegedly found, up in there. But let's go down here a little bit. Oh my gosh, this is taking forever. Come on. Man. Okay, it's Simpson Loop. Now, see, it just seems like it takes a long time to go this way. But look, that's a long distance. Here we go. Do you see this right here? This is the driveway that they would have went up, and the cabin would be up in there, I think. This goes up in there. Now, let me go out. All right. Let's go to 3D. There's a pond right there. Let me see here. Let me spin it around here. That's Simpson Loop. This goes around and comes out right. Okay. This is Simpson Loop that comes all the way around the back road here. That comes out right here at the shed. This is the lower part. This is Don's property at the lower part. So that was Simpson Loop. This is Simpson Road. This is where the prints were allegedly found, right here. Here's a set of them. And this is where they said the driveway was. I can't find the mailbox, though. So I don't know. Josh Phillips' property is right here, and he has a yard barn, too. I'm going to have to look. I'll try to look on maps a little better, but you can see here. Look, here's the driveway. You got these little roads right. Look here. There it is. There it is. Okay. Here it is. This would be the driveway that turns up and goes up there. Okay. My bad, guys. Right there it is. And we put the marker right here because he said it's behind a ridge. Right here. Somewhere in here. Where you can't see. So that's why I put the marker right there. There's a better look at the prints right there. That's not very far. I'm sorry, it's not. Measure distance from there to there. That's 480.69 meters, 1,577 feet. And then you have Bell Road right here. This is Bell Road that runs. This is where her was 8 Ben Hill Road, where the Gorleys live. And here's this cutout that goes all the way to Bell Road. Bell Road connects to what? Fields Road. And Fields Road is where the third search was. 20 right here. This is Fields Road. See Fields Road? Go check out our live. We have where we showed, it's a video actually, where we showed us going and driving all of Fields Road. The picture of that third search was taken right here. This is the barn in the background where law enforcement is walking diagonally. This is Polly Bernard and Jody Sue's, Andy Bernard's mother. That's their property right there. And law enforcement was walking that way. Okay? That's all I got. I am so sorry. That's hard. Maps, when it's moving slow, it is hard for me to keep up with that. All right. That's what I got. I tried to catch everything that y'all asked. I'm sorry if I missed anything. Hey, what's up, Circle Jerk? How are y'all doing? Let's remember what's important at summer. Speaking about Dawn, I will choose to treat people with kindness, put my feelings aside, because there is no evidence that they did anything. Don has alibis that he was at work. If he wasn't at work, rest assured he would be arrested by now, or there would be bigger problems than what we know of right now. Be careful what information you listen to. If some people aren't showing you facts like the screenshots and everything, be careful of it. That's all I got for you. And I showed where Nick Barris said that. We know who allegedly was driving the blue van that Grandma saw, because Jody Sue said that she had a family member. He lives at 200 Ben Hill. That's John Henry Smith, also AKA Elvis. His daughter drives the blue van. I have a video that I'm getting ready to release here in just a little while. I'm almost done with it. That's going to go over some other misinformation that we're gonna clear up, and hopefully this gets us closer to the truth. Let's pray and let's get out of here. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for everything you do. We pray for the families that have missing loved ones. We ask for peace in their heart. We ask for peace in our nation, Lord, and in our world, Lord. We ask that everything that's going on now, God, that we know you're coming back soon. Let us all be prepared. Let us be ready. Let us be kind to one another. Let's not treat each other like dirt. Let's not call CPS on people out of spite. Let's do better. God, I thank you for the breath in my lungs, and thank you for loving me when I'm not easy to love and when I don't show you the love you deserve. I ask for blessings for every single one in this chat. And Lord, you know what their unspoken prayers are today better than anybody. Meet them right where they're at. Lord, we ask for answers for Summer, Monkey, Michael Vaughn, and all the other missing cases, Lord. And, the Owens girl that was found in a field, deceased a couple of days ago, let there be justice for her. That she was a runaway. The police didn't take it serious, and, now she's deceased. Let the person responsible for that be brought to justice, along with the people responsible for Summer's disappearance and Michael Vaughn. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. That's all I got. Remember, at the end of the day, everybody wants justice, but justice doesn't have to be carried out with hate. Till next time, keep on cracking. God bless you. We love you. From Cracking Cases, I'm Cam. Allie sends you her best. We love you, and we'll catch you on the next one. All right, guys. Peace out.